Not every road leads where it should, and not every bridge was built for the living. This tale that I'm about to tell you is the demise of the once mighty band known as the Stormcallers. There were 4 of us that fateful night. Adrian, an elf with very nimble hands, and then there was Thorin, a knight clad in heavy steel armour, and of course Bob, our wizard, very sharp tongue, and then myself, a bard with more courage in song and wit than in cold steel. It was near midnight when we came upon the bridge, a massive stone thing, ravaged by time itself, crumbling and slick with moss, stretching across a chasm so deep our torchlight could not touch the bottom. We could see the far side, faint and waiting, but halfway across the stones vanished into a wall of pale fog, rising high above and spilling off either side into the abyss. We should have turned back. Gods, we should have turned back. We stepped forward onto the bridge, our torches flickering in the night wind, and then, all at once, the wind stopped. It was dead still, like we had somehow stepped into an invisible bubble, cut off from the rest of the world. That was when the voice came, not carried through the air, but into our skulls, whispering, burrowing deep like worms into the ground. I'll never forget its words. Answer correctly, and you shall pass. Fail, and you shall fall. And then it drifted out from the mist into view. Not a troll that you would imagine, not a man, not an ogre, but a shadow wrapped in rags, its body broken and twisted, its eyes glowing, pale like lanterns guttering in the dark. It was a wraith bound to the bridge itself. It was there, it was waiting, and it was watching. And I know what you're thinking. Why didn't we just turn around? And believe me, we thought about it, but when we glanced back, there was 2 more just like it standing behind us at the far end of the bridge, their eyes also pale, gleaming. We were cut off. We had no choice but to move forward. Arian, of course, was the first one to step forward, smirking, bold as ever. He called out to the Wraith, "Well then, spirit, ask me your riddle, and let's be done with it." Gods, I admired his confidence. But pride and courage, they wear the same mask, and only one will survive tonight. The Wraith's voice again coiled into our minds. What walks in shadow, yet casts no shadow? I have no idea what that meant. My palms were slick with sweat, but Arian, he just chuckled. That's simple, he said. A thief. A man so clever and quiet, he leaves no trace. For a heartbeat, the bridge held. And then, the stones beneath him shattered like glass. His smirk broke into a scream, cut short as the void swallowed him whole. Just like that, Arian was gone. The rest of us didn't move. What could we do? We had to try again. Next was Thorn. He didn't flinch. He never did. He gripped the hilt of his sword, planting his boots firm on the slick stone. "I will answer next," he said. His voice as steady as iron as always. The Wraith, its gaze slowly turned upon him. What oath binds stronger than steel? That was Thorn's question. He lifted his chin. The oath of a knight to his king. Loyalty is stronger than any weapon. That was a great answer. Not what I had imagined. I couldn't imagine anything. I was absolutely petrified. But, unfortunately, the bridge shuddered. His conviction did not matter, and the stones too fell away, and as did he. His armoured body clattered as it struck at unseen ledges in the abyss on the way down, each sound fainter than the one before it, until even the echoes were gone. I'll never forget the silence that followed that. And up next it was Bob. Poor Bob. He stepped forward. His hands shook around his staff, his lips pale as chalk. He glanced at me, and then at the Wraith. "I will face you," he said, stammering. The Wraith's whisper curled into us again. "What fire cannot burn, yet it consumes all." Bob stood silent for so long, his brain working overtime, probably trying to think of an answer. He mustered the courage he could, whispering to himself before forcing the words out louder. "Ice! The cold! That must be it!" The silence stretched for too long, and then, just like the rest, the stones beneath him crumbled into dust. His scream did last longer than the others, high and desperate, and echoing into the void as he fell, before it too was swallowed whole. His staff spun away into the mist, glinting once, then gone. And just like that, I was the only one left, the last sole survivor of the Stormcallers. I can remember my breath, it came ragged. My legs wanted to run, but where to? There was no way back, no way but forward. I stepped onto the stones where my friends had once fallen. The Wraith's eyes burned brighter, and its voice pressed into me again. What song is sung when the world grows silent? I can remember my mouth was so dry, my heart was pounding so loud in my chest, and my ears were ringing. I couldn't think. I had no answer, no cleverness, no wit. So I did the only thing I knew. I sang. A trembling note, not my best song, no louder than a whisper, but it was a lullaby my mother once sang to me when wolves howled outside. And just like that, the mist began to shiver, and the bridge held. The Wraith said nothing, it only hovered there, its lantern eyes fixed upon me, as though weighing me in judgment. I dared not breathe as I moved forward, step by step, thinking, was this a trick? Were the stones going to fall? Was I too going to be swallowed by the void? The silence pressed heavy against my ears. The Wraith did not follow. It only slowly turned and watched as I passed, its eyes burning, fixed upon me. And then the fog, it began to thin in front of me. The stone grew firm beneath my boots. I had reached the far side. When I turned back, the bridge was gone. Nothing but mist, spilling endlessly into the abyss, as though it had never been there at all. And I was alone, the sole survivor, left to carry the tale. So I do tell you, travellers, if you ever come across a bridge swallowed in fog where silence lies heavy and a voice calls from that mist, do remember this tale. Answer very carefully, for some bridges are not meant to be crossed, and some riddles are better left unsolved.